Welcome to God's Way YTVY. I'm Adolphina Shephard. This is my co-host Thomas Knight's Templar.
Good evening, everyone.
Well, we have a couple of fabulous guests here with you we're going to introduce shortly, but first we have a pretty big announcement to make.
She baked it herself
It's our
with her
10th
little fingers.
anniversary of this show, already 10 years. All right, so we're celebrating that tonight, and it's going to be a very good show. We have a couple of wonderful guests. This is part 2 of spiritual cleansing and crossing over of spirits in honor of 9/11. So I'm going to introduce the first guest, Chris George, psychic medium. Would you like to say a few words right now?
Well, I'm happy to be back for a second show. I hope this becomes like a regular thing, and
It will,
I'm just
don't
happy to
worry
be
about
here.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
that. Okay.
And
Mary Silvernail.
Thank you, Tommy. First of all, I want to congratulate you guys for your 10-year anniversary. And it's been a wonderful 10 years, hasn't it, for you guys?
Oh, my God,
Absolutely fabulous.
if you think about it, it seems like it was yesterday.
It was.
Well, yeah, it was yesterday, but I mean,
At light speed,
10
yes, it
whole
was probably a week
years
ago.
we've
yeah,
been
that's
doing this.
that's amazing.
And even more because that we were doing it before we got series status.
Yes.
So probably more like 10 and a half, but this is our actual week of our 10th year anniversary.
That's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many blessings. Many
Thank you,
blessings.
darling.
Thank you.
For another at least 10 years.
I know,
Yes,
I
there you
know.
go. Well, anyway, so I'm Mary Silvernail, and I'm a professional astrologer and hypnotherapist and a lot of other things. And I'm also the host of Astrology, Angels, and More here at CTV.
Community
I
television.
know,
network, or
community
whatever they call
television.
it
I'm
now.
sorry. It's been years saying CTV. Sorry
It's
about that.
happened to CTV for
Community media television. And I've been a guest on God's Way Yacht today so many times. Thank you.
I know.
Thank
well, we
you.
love having
Thank
you
you.
on. You know, we've become good friends over the years.
Yes.
And I do have more news. You can also find our show, God's Way YTVY, on demand now and on streaming.
That's right.
Yeah, as well as on channel 35 and 79.
If you should happen to miss the show, and you can go to YouTube, or you can watch it on by streaming service, whatever you want to do, it's there. All right, along with all the other shows here at Community Television Network, I guess.
Yeah, and as usual, you can find it on my channel, Adolphina Shephard, on YouTube. Because sometimes people are out of the area, they can't get it, and you can always catch up with it there. So-
Yeah, you have 10 years worth of shows on your
yeah.
channel there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shows. Yeah.
You're
And
right.
them on my page, too. They're on my page.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
this is going to be
Now
an
that all the
interesting show,
festivities
right?
are over,
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
the festivities aren't over till the cake's gone.
You
well, she's
said
already
it's
started
chocolate,
eating
right?
it. Should I show her the hole? Should I show you the hole? It wasn't no mouse.
There's a little on this side gone too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I knew this would happen. All right, did I say it in the kitchen? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Let's get serious now, all right, and see if we can pick up where we left off. We were talking back then in the last show about our experiences. Chris was talking about his experience at one of these, what was it, a mental hospital?
I told a bunch of stories. I think
Yeah,
one
we all
had to do
told
with a mental
stories,
hospital.
yeah.
The one that he laid down into the booth.
Oh, that was at
was that?
Waverly Sanitarium in Louisville, Kentucky. That was the old tuberculosis hospital. Over 77,000 people died there.
Oh, my
Wow.
Lord.
Yeah,
That's a lot of people, right?
it's a lot of people, a lot of spirits,
A lot of energy.
a lot of sadness there.
Yeah.
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 Well, you know, part of this show is going to be about we started doing this years ago, crossing over of the people that crossed on 9/11.
On 9/11.
Because what happened, how that came about was one day I feel a tap on my shoulder like this. I'm sitting there watching TV one night, and a spirit's there. And I said, how can I help you? I'm stuck. I died in 9/11. And so we started doing it. We decided to do it, and we wanted to do it on the show. And what wound up happening was instead of crossing like 800, 1,000, 3,000
Well, there
people.
was supposedly 3,000 that died there. All right, and when we started crossing them, what came through here, wow, It was like an avalanche. It just kept on coming.
Really, yeah. I mean, we carried that energy, I think, for 3 days because what happened was since they had a week to prepare, all the spirits said, okay, let's get in on this, right? And Tommy saw it as like motorcycles or something, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, but Sis saw it like this. You see these windows behind us on the panels? That looks like the Coliseum. And Sis saw them as they go into the level to where they're going to be going for their next incarnation into this world or some other world. All right. I saw it like the streaming of fiber optics, the way the lights look on the Santa Monica Freeway. You know, when they always show you it's like a blur. And that's how I saw it. Basically, it's the same thing. We saw spirit moving. We didn't think that we were going to be moving like that. You know, it was like a tidal wave.
You know what's interesting about what you just said is the fact that you both saw spirit going into the light, but you saw it differently. You know, there isn't just one way to see it. There's so many different ways to pass spirit to the light, and you could see it. You can have 5 people who can actually see, and they might all see it in a different way.
Different way, yeah.
Doesn't make it wrong, just means they're seeing it in a different way.
Well, you know what? And they've been waiting all year for this again. And now we have a new component because I've been finding a lot of dark angels on people. And Tommy got this answer. He says they're surrendering. They are coming to us to send them to the light to be back. And I think we're going to have a lot of that in this session where people are going to cross over too, because the light has won basically. And so the angels that are not want to become nothing, want to go home to God and become the angels that they are, plus the people who have been stuck here.
That's it.
So, and now the last time this happened, I don't know what's going to show up tonight, but I remember when we held hands that there was orange glow coming out of
Yeah.
our hands, and there was a
The
great
ray,
big
the
spirit.
ray that came down on
Yeah.
our hands, that was cool.
You have a picture of that I
Yeah.
remember
It was
seeing.
Yeah, and there was a great
Yeah.
big spirit behind us, kind of like with their hand on us. And so I don't know what's going to show up on camera because we didn't see it, but it showed up on camera, which was fascinating.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, you know, so we're going to be doing that later. And I know that you wanted to also include the our studio audience.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna bring in on a prayer when we open up the porthole to send them to God. We're gonna open up a prayer that you guys could join in on and help us pass spirit. You know, the more the merrier. You know, so if you have anybody, family member that you might know that may be stuck, we're gonna open up that porthole and we're gonna send them.
yeah, because I think we've probably by this time crossed over all those from 9/11 that were stuck. But you know, people, when spirits cross over, a lot of times they stay. If let's say a man has a family, and they have children, and he wants to be there to help, so he doesn't leave.
I'm glad you said that. You know the television show Ghost Whisperer?
I used to love that show.
Okay, well, me too. And James Van Prague is
Yeah, he's good.
the guy. It's a woman in the show, but it's basically like he helps write the show. The thing that bothered me about that was, you know, and this is something I know for a fact. When you go to the light, you're not gone. You're in the light. You're just not attached to the sadness and stuff like that from the here and now. You could still be here. And according to the show, which in my opinion was 100% incorrect, he made it seem that when you go into the light, they're gone. Okay, that's not true. They are still here.
Absolutely untrue.
Absolutely untrue.
Absolutely untrue.
Yeah.
If he was thinking that it would be like,
I think that was more Hollywood than anything else.
Yeah.
well, that
That's
was,
not true.
That was an ad lib. You know what I mean? The thing is, you go into the light, you go there, you do your review, and then you're omnipresent. You can be here, you can be in Boston,
That's
you can
right.
be in Cincinnati.
That's 100% correct.
You're omnipresent. So for him to say that you're going to be there and stuck there, you know, that's not true.
You know how many times I've given readings to people and they've brought that up, but James Van Prague said that when you go to the light, you're gone. No, he never said that. The show said that, okay, and it's not true. Like you said, like when my father had 18 grandkids when he passed, okay? He could be with me, he could be with my sister, he could be with my son, he could be with my niece and my nephew, all at the same time.
That's right.
Because they can spread their energy out, so they're not gone.
Not
You know,
at
my
all.
father's 100% in the light, but believe me, he's here.
And the only thing that they take with them is love.
That's the only,
I mean,
that's
if
the only
there's
thing.
someone going to disagree with me here on the set, I don't know, but I know that to be for a fact of all the readings I've been doing.
I
That's what
agree.
I
my whole
always
life.
say.
Yep.
I always
I
tell
mean,
people
all I ever connect with is their love.
that, I tell them, I don't
Can,
care
can I
how
can I
much
can I
money
bring
you
something up
have.
about passing to the light?
Sure.
Because this is something I'm a big believer in. You know, I'm a big believer in respect, especially when it comes to spirit. You know, I know people who go into places and pass spirit to the light that don't want to go into the light. They're not ready to go into the light, and then they try to put them in the light. To me, unacceptable. I will never ever go into a home or a place and pass a spirit into the light that doesn't ask me or let me know that they want to go into the light. I don't, this is my opinion. You guys might think completely different and it'll
I'm
make
in
for great
total
television.
agreement with
But
you.
I don't feel that I don't have the right to send somebody to the light that isn't ready to go.
Unless they're hostile.
Well, if they're hostile, that's a whole different story. Because
Right.
if they're hostile, they'll probably fight you until the end.
To the
Right,
all the way.
right.
I mean, we have sent malevolent
Mm-hmm.
spirits, all right? We have sent them gone into the abyss, and that's it. But I won't send one of them to the light.
Right. Well, I
unless
like that you
feel
said
they're
the abyss
redeemable.
because there is a place on the other side, and you could call it the abyss, you could call it whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a place for spirits like that. They don't go into the light, but they're in a certain space. You could call it the in between, whatever you want to call it. But they definitely go to another place.
That's a bad neighborhood.
Or
It's
if
a bad
you're-
neighborhood.
If you're Catholic,
It's like the ghetto on the other side.
Well, you know, one of the things we discovered when that show we first started doing 9/11, that some of the spirits that were really evil, they actually became elements. They went into the first, second dimension and became like part of the earth, part of the water, part of the trees and stuff like that to start over again. And I didn't know that happened prior to that. I was very surprised about that. But the spirits that go to the light, you know, it's if you send these hostile spirits to the light, what happens is God transforms it and uses it to create something else,
break
like
my
the
cup.
trees, the earth, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know where that distinction is drawn, but God determines that. I don't.
Yeah, that's not our decision.
Yeah, it's
you
not
know.
our decision.
That's why you have that behind you. They're going into the different levels.
Right.
You know, that doesn't even mean your incarnations. Wow. Now I can't even say the word.
Incarnation.
Incarnation.
There you go. The incarnation could be in another dimension, could be in another world. All right, a lot of people say, oh, you know, there's no life on Mars, and there's no life on Venus, and there's no life on Mercury, so close to the sun, right? How about interdimensionally, there's life on Venus, there's life on Mars, there's life everywhere,
Yes.
okay? You're just seeing it in the 3D eye. That's why you cannot believe that a human is 3D, cannot be on those planets, it would not survive.
Well, you know, there's beings in the sun too, and
Portholes in the sun.
sure,
The central sun goes right through that sun.
I know. Well, you know, one
Not to
time I
mention
was
my
at a UFO meeting, and they were showing a video of the astronauts on Mars, I think it was. This is going back some time, so my memory's a little sketchy, but I do remember jumping up and saying, "Stop it right there!" And they said, "Why?" I said, "Don't you see the veil? To see the spirits behind the veil, and you could see them." And they were big, and they were watching the humanoids. And you could see them distinctly, you know what I mean? But it was just one of those things your eye had to be tuned for it, you know what I mean? Otherwise, you would have missed it. Nobody else seemed to notice it, but I pointed it out. Yeah, there's beings who can survive those temperatures.
Well, they say the Elohim. I don't know if you know what
The
the
Elohim,
Elohim.
yeah.
You know, that could have. It could have been that.
Well, are you talking about the Elohim?
Elohim.
Elohim.
Yeah.
That's how. I mean, that's how I know.
Everybody
how to
says
say
it a little different, but
Yeah.
but there's only supposed to be 7 of them. No, these were like
No, those were the dwarfs.
Tommy.
Tommy.
It was a perfect opportunity. I had to take it.
That was cute. And do you remember all the names of them? Because I don't.
No, dopey, snotty, whatever they call it. I don't know.
I wonder, does anybody know? Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
Mary knows.
I don't know.
It was in the stars. Mary knows.
I don't remember. I don't
Everything's in
remember.
the
Doc,
stars.
sneezy, dopey.
Dopey.
Did I say Doc? Okay.
Doc, no? Okay, 4. You got 4.
Who's the one that's cranky?
Papa Smurf.
Cranky.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's too long ago.
The memory banks have fizzled out. Anyway,
Okay.
okay.
So anyway, we were talking about spiritual cleansing. Does anybody have a beginning story or a cleansing story they'd like to tell before we start doing the clearing?
I mean, I'm a big believer in it. I mean, I feel like there are people that need to be cleared. You know, you could do a space clearing on a space, but you could also do a space clearing on a person. Something that I've done for many, many years. And the amazing thing about that is it's immediate. As soon as, especially if it's done right. There are people that say that they're doing cleansings. I've heard people go to like a gypsy and they put an egg over their head and they're clear. That's ridiculous. Okay. That's the truth.
Terrible use of an egg.
haven't heard that one before.
It's ridiculous.
Probably the gypsy also had them go and buy the dozen eggs.
That's right,
You know-
and
you
they
know what I'm
had then
talking
after
about,
that they
yeah.
had to go make a statue, and
Yeah.
it cost them $3,000, and
Yeah.
then they get scammed.
And then they had the curse that they had to be
It's
removed.
always
Oh
an
my God.
and it's always an ancestral curse. So
Because- yeah.
they're scam artists. So just so you guys
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
the amazing thing about doing a proper clearing on a person is they feel it immediately, and if they don't feel it immediately, it wasn't done properly.
That's right.
So.
Right,
That's
I have
right.
to agree with that.
And again, there's many different ways to do it. Everyone has their own technique. I have my own technique. I'm sure all of you do it, whatever way you do it. And, you know, no way is better than the next, you know. It's just like healing. You know, people say Reiki is the best. I don't believe that. I believe that pranic healing is the best and channeled healing. That's my opinion. So there are
Ultimately,
different
they're all the
ways to do
same.
different things.
When it comes
They're all
down
the
to
same.
all of them combined,
Yeah.
it's the healing of the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
And that's what it is combined.
Thank
People say to
you.
me, Tom, do you do Reiki? I do healing. I do healing of the
Well,
Holy
that's
Spirit.
what I
It all
say.
I said,
comes from
and
the
that's what it
same
is.
source.
It's just because the guy tapped into the Holy Spirit in Japan, Dr. Yasui, okay? That's his version. Just like Kuan Yin is a Blessed
Yes.
Mother. You know, it appears to wherever you are.
You know, yeah,
by
what-
the name.
There's
The
all
Chinese
different
call
names.
it Qi.
Right. When I do a clearing on somebody, I'm always doing a healing as well. And when I do a healing, I mix the modalities to make my own.
Yeah, oh,
Because
yeah.
I don't think any one modality is the best. I feel like you make it your own, you know? So I do channeled healing. I use crystals. I use aromatherapy. I use sound therapy. And I put it all together to make
All
my own
together.
modality.
So do I,
So,
Chris.
well, that's
and
wonderful.
I include Holy Fire, Yusui, Reiki, but Karuna, also
American
Native American healing, because I include that. And so people think it's, some people may say, oh, you can't mix the Japanese techniques.
Absolutely. Why
with-
not?
Yeah, it's all
not?
the same,
Right?
okay?
And you know what I think one of the most important things about healing is? Listening.
That's right.
Actually listening to the person, what their body is telling you as you're working on them, what they're telling you as you're working on them, and actually listening, because a big part of healing is actually hearing what people are saying. A lot of people don't realize that.
When a person comes in to see me, the first 15 minutes is spent
Interview.
sitting across from me, and I'm talking to them, and I'm at the whole interview
Yeah,
process.
absolutely.
Then we go into the healing. Or many times, see, I know you and I talked about this on the last show, about how you remove
Right.
attachments or
Right.
everything, you know? And I do it in a completely different
That's right.
way.
Everybody does it a different way.
Everybody does, yeah, things differently.
You know how I
But
do it?
ultimately,
How do you do
they're
it?
same.
357, right between the eyes.
That works.
Done.
And you know, it's
They never
funny.
have a problem again.
No.
They ain't here no more, but they don't have a problem.
I've been told I'm like the chainsaw, Tommy calls it. Yeah, get in there, get that out. You know, I'm an etheric surgeon, you know.
She goes in there digging.
Yeah,
Digging.
get every little nugget.
Yeah.
But you know, I
all the
believe it
same.
has a lot to do with the healing modalities. Is in our other incarnations, they start to just become automatic. What you've learned is like you just go into what you think is next. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
remembrance.
Yeah, it's kind
It's
of
a
like it's a
remembrance.
remembrance. So if you learn this and this and this in one lifetime, and this and this and this in another lifetime, well, it comes back when you're doing all that. You know
Yeah,
what
like
I mean?
Chris was saying,
Yeah.
he includes this.
Yeah.
I
It's like
mix it
whatever.
all, you know. And the crazy thing was, so when I had my radio show years ago, I had a psychic come on, a well-known psychic. I'm not going to say her name, but she said, "Oh, you can't mix all those modalities. It's just not right." And I'm like, you know what? People actually listen to what you say. You know, you're giving misinformation to the public. Yes, you absolutely can mix it, and if it makes it better, then why can't you do it?
So who made the rules?
Who made the
Right?
rules?
Who made
Yes.
the rules?
You know what it is? You learn something. It's a lot of people, they right away, they want to become spiritually. That's fine. And they go get books, and I recommend a few that will help them on their path. I tell them, take what resonates with you and make that your own. I said, and then you expand it, you explore it. All right, and if it works for you, you use it. If it don't, you'll find something else.
It's interesting you
As
say
you grow,
that.
the teacher will be given to you.
You know, I have a woman, I haven't spoken to her in many years, but she's brilliant, okay? She can't get out of her own way, and she has nothing, but she's absolutely brilliant. And she would call me up, and she would drive me crazy because she'd keep me on the phone for like 4 hours. And she would talk about maybe 30 different things.
Ma, I got to hang up.
And I couldn't get off the phone with her. But this is what I'll say. She would talk about 30 different topics. I mean, like so intelligently that it was ridiculous how much the woman knew. But out of those 30 topics or 20 topics, I would pick 2, 3, maybe 4 things that she said that really resonated with me, and I used it. So you got to pick up on what resonates with you when you're doing a healing especially.
That's it.
Well, you
Yes.
know, one of the things, like when I was given the name YTVY for my modality, and it means healing, I was taking some courses, frequency balancing, and fabulous information. However, there was no prayer involved, and they were working with spirit guides and angels and so forth. But I felt that that was truly missing. And I had to add that in, and that's when the power really grew. And I really think that it, like you had said, I think it has to do with how much you are connected to the Holy Spirit and how successful you are. You know, that's basically, I think, a long story short, because you need that in order to be successful with it. You know?
What about people who, like I know, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. You know, there are a lot of people that they say that they're healers, okay? But, you know, they're addicted to oxycodone or something like that. Can they actually be a good healer when they're addicted to something else? Because I don't believe so.
Because they made that other thing their God. When you substitute anything and make it your God, like money, power, greed, jealousy, when you surrender to those things, you make him your God, okay, then it owns you. All right? And if you're going to be any kind of healer or any kind of Reiki person, you don't want to pass that energy on to innocent people who don't deserve what you got in store for them. All right? You don't even know what you're doing when you do that. I see these people, oh, I'm Reiki Master. That's okay, I'm a Jedi Knight. What are you, are you kidding
so
me?
many people.
I really
I'm a
don't-
Jedi.
I don't want to hear that. I want to know. I
saying.
want to know what you know. Okay?
No,
Do you
he's
know how to
right.
clear yourself of negative energy before you touch another human being?
True.
Okay? Are you going to bring your nonsense from your own personal life to that reading?
And
to
that
the
happens.
message?
That happens when people have too much stuff going on in their lives. They should not be doing healing to
No.
people. They shouldn't.
No way.
So true.
Well, you know, I had the advantage of, as a hobby, aura photography. And we would do these shows, and I probably read and analyzed hundreds, if not thousands, over the years. And so, you know, so many of my students were Reiki masters. And they would come, and it's the first thing I would do in one of my workshops when they joined the series of the school, was to take a picture of them. And it was... A picture tells 1,000 words. When they would see,
picture.
okay, here's their aura, and then they see a big hole here, or a big hole here, or they got all this black stuff on the outside. You know, that tells 1,000 words, you know. And so you would do a healing, do some grid work, you know, cleanse them and so forth, and then take it after, you know, before the class ended, and they would see such a difference. You know what I mean? So that was
Right,
really
because
something.
You cleanse their energy, you cleanse their aura.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
But I mean,
the
you have
thing
to
about the
seal
aura
it too.
is the colors can change.
Oh, yeah.
They constantly change, okay? And when I do my readings, and I do a lot of readings, okay? When I do my readings, everyone gets an aura reading from me when I give a proper reading.
You can't
and,
help but see it.
Right. and I always tell people, you could try and hide things from me. You could close yourself off to
Yeah.
try and make me not read you, but
Yeah.
I still see your colors. And like you said, it speaks 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say is the colors are extremely interpretive, and I've had so many aura experts on my television, on my radio show, my television show, and they all believe the same thing. The colors are specific in what they mean. Red means this, blue means that. That's ridiculous. If you ever go to somebody and they tell you that the colors are specific, walk out because they don't know what they're talking about. The truth is the colors are very interpretive. Okay, so we could all have, say, blue in our aura, and it really can mean something a little bit different for all of us. The one thing I teach in my classes is there's really two colors that are not interpretive. Gold has to do with healing and protection, and white. If somebody has white in their aura, it shows purity, psychic ability, and healing. It doesn't mean they have all three of those, but they at least have one, okay?
I get
And that's
silver
how I
and I get
teach it
gold.
in my classes. They're very interpretive.
Well, you know, it was funny too, because when we would take the pictures, let's say we're talking about the chakras. Well, my my angels would actually show the people if they had a block, they'd make a square, and so you would know block, right? Or if a chakra was underactive, it would be this big, and you want them all the same size, pretty much, So
Right.
that was part of it, and I would do a healing on them on whatever needed to be done, But it's all part of it. So it's very good to have those pictures. I haven't done it in a while. It's a lot of work since my husband
The
passed.
the
I don't
pictures
have a
are fun.
helper.
They're
Yeah,
fun.
oh, they are. They really are.
Listen, one of the things that I have to say, okay, because you have to understand, I am a Holy Fire Karuna Reiki Master teacher. I teach Reiki, okay,
Yeah.
for, oh my God, more than 20 years, okay? So look, yeah, it's 25 years now, I think. But anyway, the whole thing is, I don't just teach Reiki. I teach Holy Fire, which is the Holy Spirit, as what we were talking about before, okay?
We've had
which is
these
completely
philosophical
different.
chats.
And one of the things, the first thing, actually, because the truth is the essence of that energy is only the person is being used as a channel, not that their energy can be going into the other, person they're doing, the client or that they're doing the healing on, okay? And they can't receive. And it's a hard concept for many people to understand that. But that is what's true, because the Holy Spirit is in charge of the whole thing.
That's right.
And the Holy Spirit is not going to allow all that gook or byoki that we talked about before, that's the Japanese term for that black, dark energy, to go into that client, okay, or to come in to the practitioner.
Well, how about this?
But that's if you're taught right, okay?
How many times you be doing?
You're taught right.
How many times you be doing a session like that, or doing a reading and this, that, the other, and then the person comes in with company?
Oh, every time.
all the time.
All the
No, I'm not talking
Right,
about-
all the
I know
time.
what
They
you're talking
come in
about.
with
I'm talking
troops.
about,
Right.
You know?
Well, I've had a lot of my clients say to me, my son needs a healing, my daughter needs a healing, and I tell them they have to be ready for it. You can't say that they want a healing and I just go and do it, because if they're not ready to receive it, it's a waste of time.
and that's
But they
another
send
thing.
it back.
It's literally a waste
Yeah,
of time.
they send
Well,
it
they
back.
send it back, but it also recycles. So, yeah, I mean, even if I did a healing on somebody who really didn't want it, I'm doing a healing on myself, because for me, it just
Ultimately,
it
that's what
recycles,
happens.
Okay,
Yes.
but they have to want it. If they don't want it, then you're almost wasting your energy.
Did a healing on somebody, and that person came back and said, you know the healing you did? Yeah, he goes, it didn't work. So I'm looking, I said, well, did you thank God every day for your healing? I said, where was your participation in your healing? Is your belief in your healing?
The
or your good-
participation part is big,
Yeah,
because if they don't want it, if they don't truly want it, it's just not going to work.
Just like when people come to my office that want to stop smoking or whatever it is, okay, I have to ask them, is this what you really want? I don't have this magic wand here. I'm going to go poof. You have to really want it
Right?
and
It's like
participate in it.
Yes, it's like passing spirit to the light. If they don't want to go,
They don't want to go.
they don't want to go. And if you don't want a healing, you're not going to get a healing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we do.
It's the way it is, right?
You know,
It's just the way it is.
you can speak to somebody and just, raise their vibration to that of the healing of whatever thing is bothering them. Okay, you can bring them to the food, but you can't make them eat.
Right.
All right. Sometimes you're your own worst enemy. You won't get out of your own way. All right? You expect somebody else, like Chris or Mary or me or Adolphina, to do it for you.
Right.
Be complicit in your healing. Be complicit in your readings. Be a part of it. Don't
And-
be a Monday morning quarterback.
Have the gratitude for it.
And be, that right, as Christine is out there, attitude of gratitude. And that's really true. Be
Yep.
grateful that somebody would take the time to speak the words over you so that you would feel better and be healthier. All right? When you accept that, things change for you. Change your mindset, and that thing back here will follow. And that's what you need to do.
Well, you know what?
Over to you, Chet.
Well said.
I think it's time we start with the crossing of the spirits because look, we got 27 minutes
Oh,
left.
time flies when you're having fun.
I know, I know.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
We always have such fabulous
Let's
conversations.
join the group here. Hello, don't leave me hanging. Hello?
Oh, can I do it under?
Absolutely.
Yeah, feels
Over,
more,
under,
it feels
over,
more
under.
comfortable that
That's
way.
fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Father, we ask that we open up the porthole to send these spirits that have been trapped here on this earth, either by their own choice or by tragedy that occurred. 9/11 had just recently passed, and we always do a clearing at this time. We open up the porthole, all right, so they can come to you and to your grace. And we ask our audience and our television audience to join in on the prayer to send these souls so they can go home to God and be one in the unity of Christ.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen. So we'll see what each one of us is picking up here. I can feel
Tingling.
Chris's hand really trembling
I feel
here.
I feel the tingling coming right through.
Yeah, I can feel his hand shaking. We're just tapping in. We have a minute of silence here, we're tapping in to see what's going on.
They come from all over.
I'm actually seeing some dark angels flying
They're
through.
coming from all over, not only just here.
I wish somebody was here to take pictures because there's spirit right between, right behind you, closer to you than to him, but like right here,
Oh, yeah?
with his hands up, pushing energy towards us. I don't know if you can feel it
I
from your
can
back.
feel
on
it
my
coming
neck.
from my
Yeah,
back,
because
yeah.
it's
all on
coming
my
from
neck.
behind, coming
Yeah.
this way, and he's standing right there. So if anybody wants to take a picture, just
Oh, yeah, if somebody has a phone or camera phone, take a picture. See what we can pick up. It will probably be on camera.
For those of you at home, take a picture of the screen, you may see it.
Yeah, you might see it, yeah.
do you guys feel the energy coming around
Yeah.
this
Oh,
way?
yeah,
It's just sweeping now.
Yep, I can feel that, yeah. It's actually a pretty big portal we have here open.
Yeah, something screwing with my hair in the back of my neck. Thank you. You can feel free to put a few more back in there. Okay. Ah, there's a load. I'm passing a load.
What are you seeing, Tommy?
A tremendous amount, and they're not from just here.
What are they?
Yeah.
They're coming from all over the place. I'm not even sure that they're
I mean,
all.
all
So,
humanoids,
I'm not
but
sure they're all
children.
human.
I got to tell you, children.
A lot of
Lot of
children.
A lot of
So-
children.
oh
lot
my
of children.
A lot of children.
Oh,
There's a lot of because I'm getting very rambunctious type energy, very like a kid who's like excited to go somewhere. That's the energy coming through right now, and I
Father,
feel it
also-
whipping around this way.
We also ask you to include all of those souls that passed away during the COVID debacle. All right, that they will go, if they're lingering on this plane, that they will go where they belong in your love and your grace. We send them all now.
and in the gold light of all these spirits crossing, I still see a lot, quite a few.
Standing by.
No, I mean, I'm seeing black angels flying with their wings, going home. They're
It's the
surrendering.
surrendering. It's
Yeah,
the
they're
surrendering.
surrendering. The light has won,
It's
kids.
the surrendering.
Yes.
Time to join the winning team.
What's interesting for me is I feel it coming around this way, and then it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, kind of like where the cake
Cake
is, and it's almost like a tornado, and it's like the spirits are going in, and then
It's a
swooping on up.
vortex. It's a vortex. They're going.
Yeah, this was set up in advance, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. I
think
requested
so.
it 4 or 5 days ago, you know, to have this set up.
We
So,
broke through over the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
There was this like, how do I explain it? Like in a stadium, how you have the roof in a stadium, but over the whole Ukraine, it was blocked in, and we opened it up so that they can leave, they can move and go to the light. And this is what
this is what I love about doing this, that everybody sees different things, you know, and this is phenomenal that we can do this.
If you at home have experienced anything or are seeing anything, okay, please contact us and let us know your story. We'll be more than happy to speak to you about it, and perhaps we'll talk about that on the show.
Yeah.
You know, every Friday night I do a healing circle, right? People don't know about that, but I do it. And I put people in that healing circle and I encompass them in the golden light, and I send healing energy to them. So if anybody wants to be added to that, find me, contact me. I will put you in that healing circle every Friday night.
Oh, put me in
I
there.
do that for a lot of people.
Well, that would be wonderful. You know, even healers need healing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sometimes more so.
Oh, yeah, because they're really putting their life force out here.
They're putting the energy out, and sometimes it needs to be replenished.
Needs to be
Exactly, exactly.
You could use the boomerang effect.
Yeah.
You know, you're sending out and you're going to receive.
seeing so much white now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, so much white.
For those of you that are standing on the sideline, spirit that are afraid to go into the porthole, there is no judgment. You judge yourself on your life's performance. Go into the light. You are safe. You are free. You are free. Go into the light. Don't be afraid. Your loved ones are waiting there to welcome you.
And who knows, you may be going on to your next adventure, because life doesn't just end because you're
Life
not
never-
here.
Life never ends.
It's always hopefully
always the
evolving,
beginning.
right? Evolving upwards. That's the goal.
That's it.
That's the goal. Mary, what are you seeing? You're getting really deep there. Is she all right? Mary, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
There's just a really good feeling in here right now.
Yeah.
The energy, I don't know
was
what you guys are feeling,
tremendous.
but to me, the energy is just kind of, it's very absorbed. I feel like I'm being absorbed into this like really nice energy, and I think everyone is kind of feeling it right now.
Yeah.
I
there's
feel
no
kind of
darkness.
jubilant with it. I think that a lot of people are so happy to not be trapped here.
Not be trapped here anymore. Even the
Yeah.
souls of the indigenous people that were once here before the white man set foot here in this area. Okay, the ones that have passed away, they're all passing. They are all passing now.
Especially people who have crossed suddenly that don't know that they're gone.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Have you had experiences with that? People that you've been dealing with on
That
the
don't
other
know
side?
that they're gone?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I talk to people about that every day in my readings. So many times there might be a spirit, someone who passed, and they don't know that they're gone. It's like the
Yeah.
whole, the Sixth Sense movie.
Sixth
you
Sense
know,
movie,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
premise
yeah.
of the movie was
Yeah.
he was dead the whole time and didn't know it.
Right.
A lot of times they don't realize that they're dead.
Yeah.
And it takes them a moment to get acclimated to the other side. Happens a lot more than what you think.
Oh, I believe it. That's why I brought it up. Personally, I know I'm just going to cross through the veil. I'll probably take my body with me and shape shift into whatever form I want. Maybe I'll be Oriental in my next incarnation on the other side.
You could do that.
My next evolutionary leap.
Oh, we don't know if we're going to be on this planet.
Oh, well, probably not. Probably on,
You can be on anywhere.
a higher level.
You can be
know?
in the Orion Belt. You can be in the what's the other ones? Where the Palladians come from? You know, they're all humanoid, all part of the collective, and we're all part of the collective too.
You okay, Mayor?
Yeah,
You're getting pretty deep there. What are you saying?
I'm fine.
She don't
I'll
want to
tell
say.
you later.
Okay, it's okay. I don't know. I don't want to look at the seedy stuff or the horrid stuff.
No.
I just want to stay.
No, this is all
Jubilant.
beautiful light.
Okay, good, good. Could it be anything else at this time?
Father, embrace them in the light. Bring them into your bosom. Welcome them home. And bring them into your heart. God became man, so man could become God. Pass them now, Father. For they are your creation, and they are a part of you.
Part of it.
And so it is. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Wow.
And you've stopped shaking. You
Yeah.
were really shaking.
That's because everything calmed down now, because
Yeah.
they passed. Once they've passed, my body kind of does something different.
Decompresses.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it is winding up.
Yeah.
Okay, it is,
I
it is.
think it is winding up.
All right. Okay.
Are we ready?
Spirits, if you are welcome to continue to go into the light, the vortex will be open, all right, for the duration of this show, and continue to go to the light. Don't be afraid of it, all right? There is no judgment there, okay? No matter what you were taught, there is no judgment there. You judge yourself. You pick and choose the life you have, all right? And you'll pick and choose the next one. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Praise be to God.
And so it is.
So big.
Whew.
That
For
was
those of you
interesting.
at home, that if you were involved in that prayer
Wow.
and this, and you were feeling it, please let us know.
Wow. You were shaking so hard. You really were.
I don't feel it when it's happening. I have no idea that I'm doing it.
And you were going like this on your leg. I was like,
Oh, that's my hand. Whenever I do some type of channeling, for whatever reason, my hand does some weird things.
And Mary
I
was going.
didn't know it until somebody brought it to my attention.
Mary was going off somewhere.
It's intergalactical sign language.
I don't know what it is.
Could be. Dawn, do you understand that out there, Dawn?
What do you quote? What I can't think of the word. Over
A
like a
dome,
foot.
like a
the
biodome.
dome.
I saw it too when
Yes.
you said that.
There was over the Ukraine. There was this dark
It was there to trap the
dome,
energy.
and we
that whole
opened
thing,
it, and
that
they all
whole-
came.
yeah. That
Oh
whole
my
thing.
gosh!
That whole thing was,
Oh my
that was whole thing was engineered to keep them trapped.
Yeah.
Keep them trapped. Like, gee, I wonder
Oh
who
boy,
was
they're
in
going to
there.
love us for opening that up.
Wow. That was good. We hope. Wow.
So we were all over the world. I saw
Yeah.
I saw a lot of things international coming here and going.
You saw what,
It's in
Tommy?
Africa.
All kinds of things coming from other
Mm-hmm.
countries were coming through here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I believe that because one time I did a karma workshop at my chiropractor's office where I was working out of, and he came in the back door one day, and he was like, his mouth was open, and he's looking around, he's clairvoyant, and he said that he saw all these people that were from like Iran and where there's all these wars, and some of them were missing legs and arms, but they wanted to be part of this karma transmutation for the world. And, you know, I mean, that they were everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's no surprise that they're coming from all over the world, because this isn't just Staten Island we're working in. You know?
No, when they
Well,
see
I
it.
not only was seeing different nationalities go through, but I was seeing different entities going through. And the angels, the dark angels, right?
Yeah.
They were going through it. They're going to the light now because they know the war is lost. They have lost the war. What you're seeing now is a mop-up matrix.
I'm very happy about that, though, Tommy. That is such a good thing, you know, that they're going to the light, because God will transform them back into the angels of light.
God will always take you back. It's your choice, your free will, not to join. All right? If you think that all there is to this life is you're born, you live, you work, you die, and that's it. Don't think that.
Yeah, you're mistaken if you
Don't
think that.
If you're one of those people that go through life with the blinders on,
And I just say, open your mind, open your mind. What was that movie with Quato? You remember that?
Who?
Quato would come out of the stomach and he'd go, open your mind, open your mind. It was
I have no clue.
No, it wasn't.
Quato?
It wasn't Quato. It was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and this dark-haired woman, and they were on Mars, and they were under this big dome where they had to pay for
The
air.
dome, huh?
I know,
Yeah,
I know,
under the
I know what you're
dome.
talking. I don't remember the movie.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd.
No, I know that. I think
No,
that
that was
was
Stallone.
Rocky or
Yeah,
something.
that was
this
Stallone.
is the same woman that made me watch another movie that was a.
Tony,
That was the worst piece of garbage I
No,
ever
it
seen.
wasn't.
Oh,
no,
the
it
movie she
wasn't.
talks about
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time?
yeah.
What movie is
Well,
that?
he's full of it.
Jupiter Rising or something
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
that.
no, it's a great movie. You just have you're looking at that as a love story, which you think is stupid.
It was a love story. Look, you know, really. There were vampires, energy vampires, using people for food. You know, come on.
Well, come on, you know that's
But it
true.
was true. That's the problem with
I
it.
know.
It was so bad because it was true.
But anyway, that movie was something. I wish I remembered the name of that because that was really a scene. So this little being would pop out who was, I don't know who it was, but
So Arnold
that's what he would
Schwarzenegger
say.
had a pouch?
No, one of the guys
was it,
in there.
kangaroo?
No, it was a humanoid in this guy's belly.
Didn't he go through a timeline or something
Yeah,
like that?
it was
I
a, yeah,
remember
it was.
that movie.
It was
Yep.
one where they did something and you jumped the
that-
timeline
yep.
somewhere. What the heck was that called? I
Yep.
don't know. I don't remember, but
That
it was good.
Years ago, Adolphina.
Quato, I don't know. Yoda, I know.
Okay.
Quato, I don't.
Well, you know, I have to tell you, after 9/11 happened, I had my office at that time. I had my shop in Freehold, and then I also had an office. And I had so many people coming to me. I mean, that was really devastating. Of
course it was.
Being a medium at that time.
I
For the reading,
I
you
feel
know-
you, I feel it.
I know.
You know, I have a 9/11 space clearing story. So I brought up earlier to you that you know, one of my very dear friends, a mentor of mine, is a world famous psychic. Her name is Joyce Keller. For those of you who've been around a while, you would know her. She's absolutely one of the most amazing women I know. And she had a house down in a building, I guess a condo,
Nearby?
an apartment, right by
Yeah.
9/11, and right by the World Trade Center. And she was trying to sell it, and she couldn't get a bite, nothing. For 6 months, she tried to sell this beautiful, a beautiful place. Couldn't do it. She says, "Chris, could you come and do a space clearing for me?" Go. I do a space clearing. It was absolutely insane, the spirits that were leaving that house. Okay? 2 weeks after I did that, there was a bidding war on her place, and she got like, I don't know, I'm going to just say like 300,000 more than what she asked for.
So
it.
as a psychic
Wow.
realtor, what's your cut?
I didn't charge her. She was my mentor.
See.
You know,
I get a cut, but not from her.
I'm wondering how many spirits crossed that just now. Well, we won't know till the end of the show when we end the energy, I guess.
I would say to you personally, a lot, a heck of a lot, because they were coming not only from our general area, but from all over the place, all over the world, they were coming in.
What do you get?
I'm not getting a number, honestly, and I wish I was, but I would say it's quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm hearing something like 3 or 4 million, something like that. But of course, we're not done yet.
Oh, we're always going to have plenty more to go.
Yeah, oh yeah. But that's a lot of people. That's a lot of beings.
Yes, it was.
You know, and I worked for a company that lost 800 people in that 9/11.
Hang on.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll tell you what. This past week on 9/11 Monday, it was really a terrible day. The emotions and the negative energies that I felt, I had to turn my empathy button down to 0 and do a big clearing on the collective because it was, I mean, and I assumed it had to do with all the feelings from the people that lost people, you know, and all the bad memories and so forth, you
Not
know?
just the
I was-
people who lost people, all of us.
Yeah.
I was,
As Americans. I
Yes.
mean,
And the attack.
yeah.
And you know
I
what
mean,
we all believe,
just
yeah.
to know that many people. Wow.
You know, some
Sorry.
people have said that that's the day that Jesus was born, and that's why that was done on that day, to kind of counteract that.
there goes Christmas.
I know there's Ghost Christmas,
I don't believe
right?
that. I don't believe that.
So I don't
Doesn't
know.
feel right. Doesn't
It
sound
doesn't.
right.
There's
I don't know, but I've heard that.
people say that he was born in the warm weather in the summer. So I don't know about that, and it's warm weather all the
Actually,
time where they are anyway.
The time of Pisces was supposed, yeah.
Yeah, so-
Okay.
When's the time of Pisces, Mary?
March, like around March, end of February, March.
Yeah. Well, you would know that off the top. I sure don't.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know a Libra from a zebra. I You on
We're coming
astrology?
into the
Yes,
winter.
go. Yeah. Hello, man. I don't confide in anybody when it comes to astrology, except for her.
Yeah, but you were very happy to hear Mercury is direct.
I'm going to be honest with you. The whole Mercury retrograde.
I hate
I
this.
love teasing
It's
him.
never done anything to me.
I know.
Ever.
You know
I
what it is,
agree with
Chris?
you. I tease him.
It is.
He hates it. That's why.
Because one day
I-
you saw that platter of sandwiches.
Yeah.
It was Mercury retrograde. And
This is why.
I
And
remember
I
this.
had two ladies that do astrology that were here, and their family, and everybody else. I come walking to the building, I had the thing like this, and the plastic come completely out, and all the sandwich. I never seen 35 sandwiches hit the ground, and everyone hit the ground. They didn't stay on the plate. And
Yeah.
I'm putting this thing together, and I'm outside, all right? And I said, oh my God, it's Mercury retrograde. I was about to kill somebody.
Oh,
I
he
didn't
was
say
having a
that to you.
conniption.
They
You
did.
didn't do it, they did.
A lot of people in the metaphysical community really get into the whole Mercury retrograde thing.
know.
And
I
I
know.
feel, and I know I'm going to get hell for this because I have in the past, I feel
Make
like
all the
people
letters to
use
Chris
it.
George, give
You
him
can send
hell.
them to me. I feel like people use Mercury retrograde
It's an
as an
excuse.
excuse.
It's an excuse.
Okay, back in the day, I had a woman I worked
I'm a
with here.
professional astrologer.
Okay,
I'm agreeing
you're
with
an-
you.
So there's a woman here on Staten Island who's also a professional astrologer.
Okay.
And I was working with her, and I was supposed to do this huge event.
Yeah.
She says, "Nope, we're not doing the event because it's during Mercury
Oh God, you
retrograde."
control your life with it? No.
And I
don't.
dumped her that day, because, come on, I
the
just don't.
energy-
It does nothing to me. Ever
the
has, never
energy
will.
from the planets can create.
Right.
Okay, an energy. However, it's what we do
It's
Right.
with
the
that energy.
collective-
We're in the
People
control.
use it as an excuse. in
We're
my
in
It's the
opinion.
control.
collective mindset of the people that really, really believe that that's going to do something.
If they believe it, it's
They,
They
if they
do.
believe it, it's their truth. But the problem is that millions of people say this,
yeah.
just like with karma. Karma's
Right.
going to get you. Karma,
Right.
You don't think your karma's.
They don't even I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't. Most people. Some people do not really truly understand karma,
No.
what it is, and it's just something that they.
All
say.
it is
So
the
anyway.
law of return. What you put out there, you will
Yeah.
receive. The end. You put out garbage, you're going to get garbage. You put out
Yeah.
good, you're going to get good.
Yeah, but one thing I need to
What do we
add
got, Chris? How
about
much
this. Can I just
Yeah.
add this about that same night with your sandwiches? Then remember, you're hauling the cupcakes out. My $100 worth of cupcakes, gourmet cupcakes, all over the
They
ground.
hit the ground, and I looked at her and I said, "Don't say it." The first person that says it dies.
That same night. Anyway, so that's why we tease
Conniptions.
them.
He
We
was having a
tease them.
conniption.
Yeah, we tease him about it.
I've
That's
had
all,
many
Chris.
arguments about karma and Mercury retrograde,
Right.
where people have come on. I had the big show back in the day, and we would argue for hours over it. I'm very opinionated on what I believe. So.
Good for
Isn't
you.
everybody?
But remember one thing. Because it's your truth, it doesn't affect you.
That's true.
Because it's my truth.
Right.
It doesn't, except for the damn sandwich incident, but that was it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though. I always believed it's a recycling at a higher level and what you learned. But
It's a
and
time
so
of
you can,
preparation.
yeah, and you can kind of finish up the whatever it was that needed
Yeah.
to be finished up. But the interesting thing is that 3 people that I personally know, plus myself, computers crashed. Mine was down for a week, and and so I miraculously just prayed, and my other friend too, and they came back on. And I said,
see?
Mercury retrograde. that's
Because
what I
you
said.
believe in prayer, and
Yeah.
you knew that the prayer was going to be stronger than any belief of what Mercury retrograde could tell.
I was
'Cause
like,
it's all
I was
mind.
so happy that I didn't have to get a new computer and all
Well,
that
yeah.
stuff, you know?
I don't blame you.
I
Yeah.
think we're coming to the end of the line here.
This was fun.
We got 2 minutes, so let's thank our guest, Christopher George. Say hello. Oh, goodbye.
It was absolutely a pleasure being here again.
All right,
And
you'll
we
be back.
enjoyed having you.
Thank you.
We'll
You'll
do
be
it part
back.
3 sometime.
You'll be back. She'll be back. We're always back. It doesn't matter. All right. And Mary Silvernail.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much. And I'm just thrilled that I was on the show for your anniversary.
I know,
For the
and
10th
now-
anniversary
wouldn't be
show.
You
right
have
if
to
you
go
wanted.
have some
I
cake
know.
next.
You know?
Yeah, It's
And we're
great
gonna
being a
eat this
guest with
cake.
you, Chris.
Yes.
Thank you.
I
Me too.
respect the work you do.
Yeah.
And 10 years means at least 120 shows.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what that is? That's tremendous.
That's
Christine
a
has
long
double.
time,
Christine has
truly.
23 years.
I know, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
tell you, dedicated
She
people.
was here before they had cameras. They had a guy who used to use a sketch pad. You know? Anyway, good night, everyone. No, I got a minute then, so I got to stretch this out. So we'll do this. Look for us locally on Spectrum Channel 79 and on FiOS Channel 35 and on YouTube under the show title name. And now you can look for us on streaming of the show name and
And on demand.
and on demand, okay? So we have all these new things and all these new venues that if you miss an episode, you'll see it any which way you can, all right? Where are we, Chris? What do we have? Are we there now? Just about. Okay, we're just about there, so let's say goodnight, everyone.
Okay, good
Good
night,
night, everyone.
everyone. See you next
Hey,
time.
you didn't do many blessings yet. Go ahead. Many blessings.
Many, many, many bright blessings.
Let's close that portal,
Man.
too.
Okay, we're gonna
We
close the
closed
porthole.
Yes.
We closed the
The
portal.
porthole is closed, okay?